a village cloaked in silence, where whispers of injustice are louder than any spoken word. A place where tradition and authority collide, and one woman's life becomes the focus of a chilling moral crisis that no outsider would dare to imagine. The air is thick with fear, secrecy, and unspoken truths. Yet one journalist arrives, determined to uncover a story the world must witness. Each moment builds tension, every glance carries suspicion, and every heartbeat echoes with the possibility of hope or despair. As the sun sets over dusty streets and barren hills, the camera immerses you in a world where life is fragile and morality is often twisted by greed and power. You feel the weight of oppression pressing down on those who dare to challenge it, and the cost of silence becomes unbearably clear. It is a story that refuses to let you look away, a narrative that lingers in your mind long after the screen goes dark. The unfolding events are shocking yet profoundly human, revealing the courage, resilience, and vulnerability of ordinary people trapped within extraordinary circumstances. With each scene, tension tightens, emotions deepen, and the reality of injustice becomes impossible to ignore. Questions arise. How far will authority go to protect itself? How can a single voice pierce through a culture of fear? And what price is paid for seeking the truth? In this gripping tale, the struggle between truth and power, justice and tradition, love and betrayal, draws you in completely. The intensity of human emotion, the moral dilemmas, and the raw, unforgiving reality of life in a place where law, religion, and corruption intersect, create an experience that is both devastating and unforgettable. This is not just another story. It is a window into a world rarely seen, a journey into courage and tragedy, and a lesson in the enduring fight for justice. And all of this unfolds in the harrowing, unforgettable story of the stoning of Soraya M. The Stoning of Soraya M. is a cinematic masterpiece brought to life by an ensemble of deeply talented artists and filmmakers, each contributing to its raw power and haunting realism. At the heart of the story is Mojan Marno, who portrays Soraya Manucheri, a woman whose life becomes the center of a horrifying miscarriage of justice. Marno's performance is breathtaking. She embodies Soraya with fragility, courage, and profound humanity, allowing audiences to feel every ounce of fear, sorrow, and defiance she experiences. Her portrayal elevates the film from mere storytelling to a visceral emotional journey. Supporting her is James Caviezel, who plays Freydun Sahebyam, the journalist who uncovers Soraya's tragic fate. Caviezel brings gravitas and moral urgency to his role, balancing the tension of his investigative mission with genuine empathy for those whose voices have been silenced. His character is the lens through which international audiences engage with the story, making the injustice painfully real and impossible to ignore. The film was directed by Cyrus Noraste, whose vision transforms a heartbreaking true story into an immersive cinematic experience. Noraste expertly balances stark realism with narrative storytelling, creating a world that feels intimate yet universally resonant. His direction ensures that each scene, from quiet moments of sorrow to the shocking climactic events, hits with maximum emotional impact. Producers Mark Berg and Oren Cools played a pivotal role in bringing this challenging story to the screen. They championed a project that was both risky and vital, supporting the creative team in crafting a film that could provoke discussion, raise awareness, and honor the truth of the real events behind the story. Released in 2008, The film drew international attention, not just for its harrowing narrative, but for its unflinching portrayal of gender-based injustice in rural Iran. It premiered in select theaters and film festivals, where audiences and critics alike recognized the courage it took to bring such a difficult and sensitive story to the screen. The distribution strategy emphasized both impact and awareness, ensuring the film reached viewers who could appreciate its social and moral significance. With its exceptional cast, committed crew, and visionary direction, The Stoning of Soraya M. stands as a haunting yet essential piece of cinema. Every actor and filmmaker involved contributed to a narrative that is simultaneously intimate and universally relevant, giving audiences an unvarnished look at injustice, courage, and the human spirit. The story of the stoning of Soraya M. begins in a small, remote Iranian village, where life appears simple on the surface, but shadows of fear, oppression, and corruption lie beneath every interaction. Soraya Manucheri is a devoted wife and mother, living a quiet, humble life. She is known in the village for her dignity and kindness, yet her existence becomes tragically complicated when she faces the cruelty of a husband who prioritizes selfish desires over justice. Soraya's husband Ali is a man consumed by greed and lust, desperate to rid himself of his wife so he can marry another woman. His cunning and social manipulation allow him to exploit the traditional, patriarchal structures that govern village life. With false accusations and strategic intimidation, he paints Soraya as immoral, sowing distrust and scandal among the villagers. Soraya, aware of the growing danger, is trapped in a system that silences women and empowers men like Ali. The village's fear of authority ensures that few dare to challenge Ali. Friends and neighbors who might intervene hesitate, concerned for their own safety, their silence compounding the injustice. It is in this climate of fear and oppression that a journalist named Freydune Sahibayam enters the story. Visiting from outside, Sahibayam discovers the grim reality of Soraya's situation and is determined to document her story. His presence introduces the crucial theme of voice and visibility, the idea that even the most marginalized can be heard if someone dares to speak on their behalf. Through careful interviews and subtle observation, the journalist pieces together the horrifying events. Soraya is accused of adultery, a crime she did not commit. Ali manipulates the local authorities and religious leaders, ensuring that the accusation is treated as unquestionable truth. The village prepares for the ultimate punishment, stoning. The tension escalates as Soraya faces the inevitability of her fate. Her courage, dignity, and composure during this time make her both a tragic and heroic figure. She refuses to submit to panic or despair, choosing instead to maintain her humanity until the very end. The story's climax is gut-wrenching. The villagers gather to execute the sentence, their participation fueled by fear, tradition, and manipulation. Soraya, aware of the injustice, speaks words that resonate with moral clarity, confronting the hypocrisy and corruption around her. The stoning is depicted with emotional intensity. It is horrifying, not for spectacle, but to immerse the audience in the true weight of injustice. The scene captures the cruel intersection of societal obedience, fear, and the exploitation of religious and legal authority. After Soraya's death, the journalist completes his account, ensuring that her story reaches a wider audience. Through his efforts, Soraya's life and suffering are not forgotten. Her story becomes a powerful symbol of courage, resistance, and the cost of silence in a society dominated by corruption and patriarchy. The film closes with reflections on justice, morality, and the vital importance of speaking out against oppression, even when it seems impossible. What makes the stoning of Soraya M. so compelling is the balance between personal tragedy and universal significance. Soraya is both an individual and a representation of countless women whose voices are ignored, whose suffering is silenced, and whose humanity is exploited. Every scene highlights the social, cultural, and moral forces at play, creating an emotional journey that is as intellectually engaging as it is heart-wrenching. Ultimately, the film leaves audiences with questions that linger long after the credits. What is the role of courage in the face of systemic oppression? How far will people go to protect power at the expense of justice? And most importantly, how can stories like Soraya's inspire change in societies that continue to silence their most vulnerable members? The Stoning of Soraya M. is a film that provokes thought, empathy, and outrage in equal measure. Its unflinching portrayal of a brutal injustice in rural Iran made it a lightning rod for controversy, particularly in regions sensitive to depictions of religion, culture, and social norms. The movie's focus on the stoning of a woman, a punishment based on false accusations, challenged authorities, religious leaders, and governments who feared that exposing such events could undermine societal or political legitimacy. Iran in particular was one of the countries where the film was banned outright. Officials claim that the depiction of a stoning, the critique of patriarchal authority, and the representation of corruption within religious and local leadership were anti-Islamic and could damage the country's reputation. The government argued that the story was exaggerated or misleading, even though it was based on real events documented by journalist Fridounia Sahabiam. The portrayal of a woman publicly punished for defying societal norms was seen as culturally incendiary, and the film was never allowed to be screened legally in the country. Beyond Iran, the film faced criticism and protests from certain groups who viewed it as an attack on Islamic culture or an oversimplification of complex social and religious structures. Some felt that by focusing on one village's injustice, the film unfairly generalized the country and its people, while others argued that the film exposed systemic abuses that were historically accurate and needed to be brought to light. This tension between artistic truth-telling and cultural sensitivity fueled heated debates around censorship, freedom of expression, and moral responsibility in filmmaking. Despite bans in certain regions, the film was widely acclaimed internationally. Critics praised its bravery, emotional depth, and the moral imperative it carried. Many festivals and human rights organizations screened the film to highlight gender inequality and the urgent need to protect women's rights. Its controversial nature, rather than diminishing its impact, amplified global interest and dialogue, turning the story of Soraya into a symbol of both injustice and the courage required to confront it. The controversy surrounding the film also sparked discussions about the role of cinema in exposing uncomfortable truths. Should filmmakers prioritize truth over potential diplomatic fallout? How do stories about cultural or religious practices challenge audiences, governments, and global perceptions? In answering these questions, the stoning of Soraya M. became more than a movie. It became a cultural event, a catalyst for debate, and a powerful reminder that art can challenge authority and inspire change, even when it is banned. The stoning of Soraya M. left an indelible mark on global audiences, human rights advocacy, and cinematic storytelling. Beyond its harrowing narrative, the film became a symbol of courage, speaking to the universal fight against oppression and injustice. By bringing a real-life tragedy to the screen, it forced viewers to confront uncomfortable truths about gender inequality, abuse of power, and the devastating consequences of silence in oppressive systems. In cinema, the film demonstrated the power of storytelling as activism. Its unflinching portrayal of Soraya's life and death inspired filmmakers worldwide to tackle socially sensitive subjects, proving that movies could be tools for awareness and change. Directors and producers began to recognize that audiences were ready for narratives that were not just entertaining, but also morally challenging and intellectually engaging. The film's style, realistic yet cinematic, intimate yet universal, became a benchmark for socially conscious filmmaking in the late 2000s. Culturally, the movie ignited discussions about women's rights in regions where gender inequality persists. International audiences, human rights organizations, and activists used the film as a conversation starter, highlighting the need for systemic reforms and global attention to the plight of marginalized women. Soraya's story became a rallying point, reminding people that injustice, when unchecked, can flourish quietly and invisibly, until brave voices choose to expose it. Moreover, the film influenced public awareness of the role of journalism in social justice. Friduni Sahibyam's character represents the crucial intersection of storytelling and activism. By documenting Soraya's story, he shows that reporting and art can amplify the voices of the voiceless, challenging cultural and political structures that benefit from silence. This theme resonated widely, inspiring viewers to value truth, accountability, and courage in confronting societal wrongs. The legacy of the stoning of Soraya M. is not limited to advocacy or criticism. It is deeply personal and emotional. Audiences worldwide connected with Soraya as a human being, not just a symbol, experiencing empathy that transcended borders. Her story encouraged reflection on universal moral questions. What would you do if you witnessed injustice? How far would you go to protect the vulnerable? And importantly, what responsibilities do societies hold to prevent cruelty masquerading as tradition? Ultimately, the film endures as a testament to storytelling that is brave, humane, and socially conscious. It challenged censorship, confronted uncomfortable truths, and highlighted the transformative power of cinema. Its influence persists in conversations about human rights, gender equality, and the ethical responsibilities of both storytellers and audiences. Soraya's tragic fate, captured with dignity and honesty, reminds the world that no story, no matter how suppressed, can ever be truly silenced. As the screen fades to black, the stoning of Soraya M. leaves behind more than sorrow or outrage. It leaves a lasting call to conscience. Soraya's story is not just about one woman, one village, or one injustice. It is a mirror reflecting the struggles faced by countless people silenced by fear, tradition, or oppression. Through her courage, her quiet dignity, and her tragic fate, the film reminds us that every voice matters, and that truth, once spoken, can challenge the most entrenched systems of power. Watching Soraya's life unfold, we feel the weight of injustice intimately. The film humanizes statistics and headlines, turning abstract cruelty into palpable, heartbreaking reality. It challenges viewers to empathize, to confront moral discomfort, and to question, what would I do if faced with the same courage-demanding choices? What responsibility do we carry toward those whose suffering is hidden from the world? These questions linger, making the experience of the film both educational and deeply emotional. The impact of the stoning of Soraya M. goes beyond cinema. It demonstrates the power of storytelling to ignite change, provoke reflection, and inspire advocacy. It reminds us that films can serve as mirrors of society, exposing injustices, prompting dialogue, and cultivating awareness in ways that few other media can. For Hollywood Uncensored, the story stands as a perfect example of cinema that combines artistry with activism. A film that entertains, enlightens, and challenges audiences in equal measure. Soraya's tale also speaks to resilience and the human spirit. Even in the face of cruelty and societal pressure, she maintains her dignity and moral integrity. Her courage becomes a silent teacher, showing that even when systems fail, individual bravery can illuminate the path for others. The journalist who shares her story embodies the hope that truth, once revealed, can reach beyond borders and cultures, encouraging global empathy and understanding.